Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Fairgrounds Racecourse here on Saturday. It is February the 16th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the program from the Fairgrounds, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. It's Risen Star Day from the Fairgrounds, the second leg of the Road to the Kentucky Derby from, in Louisiana. Next leg is the Louisiana Derby. So it's an excellent card here on preview day for the Louisiana Derby card, and we're going to look at all the stakes races. So we have 6 of them to look at, races 2, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So let's get on to it. We're going to start off race number 2 from the Fairgrounds, which is the Colonel Power Stakes per $75,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going to post a distance of ground of 1,100 meters. If you want to go with that, or the distance of ground of about 5.5 furlongs on the fairgrounds lawn, the turf course, 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs, about. Show the diagram, just gives me a second to look down at my notes, just bear with me. Top selection here in the Colonel Power. I'm going to take the number 1 horse, Kid Perfect. I'm going to go 1673 in the superfecta. 1673 super. Top selection, 1 horse, Kid Perfect. 5-year-old gun by Majestic Perfection. Adam Bashiza gets the leg up on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of January at Delta. 5 furlongs in the Samstown Stakes. The horse finished 4th by 10 3/4 lengths there, and he just couldn't keep up with them on dirt. He does a lot better on turf, and I think to return to the grass, he should just do a lot better. Before then, the Bonapow here at the Fairgrounds, 5.5 furlongs to him the 22nd. The horse finished 4th by 4 lengths there. He had a little bit of a trouble trip, and he just never quickened up there. And then a yielding ground on the 22nd of November at Churchill, 5.5 allowance for 86,000. Horse finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. He had a really good turn of foot that day. Maybe the wet ground got to him, but he ran a good race there, and then he won the Grade 2 Woodford at Keelan, 5.5 October the 6th, where he finished 9th by 4.5 lengths. Didn't break all that well, and that pretty much cost him the race. Probably wasn't going to do well there anyway, but still, he just cost him at the beginning. He is 3-0 on this turf course, but all 3 races he's been so screwed by posture or just trouble trips. If he gets a clear trip today, I think he could really go away with it. If just a little given the ground, not super soft, but a little given the ground, he should like that also. So I'll take him here at 8-1 to upset. It's a very wide open race. So to recap my selections for the second from the Fairgrounds, to Colonel Power, we're going to take the 1 horse Kid Perfect. I'm going to go 1673 in the superfecta. So now we're going to head over to race number 4. The 4th race from the Fairgrounds, it's the Albert M. Stahl Memorial per $75,000. Race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile, about 1 mile and 1/16th on the Fairgrounds lawn, the turf course. About 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Top selection here in the Albert Stahl Memorial. I'm going to go to the number 8 horse, Beau Recall. I'm going to go 8-2-9-1 in the superfecta. 8-2-9-1 super. Top selection 8 horse, Beau Recall. 5-year-old mare by Sir Prancelot. Brad Cox trained. Sean Bridge Mahan gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 22nd of December here at the Fairgrounds. Mile 16th in overnight stakes for $75,000. The horse won by half length. He sat last most of the race up until the stretched run. Had a really good turn of foot, and he won very nicely. It was a very good race first start at the Fairgrounds. Before that, he ran under the care of Simon Callahan in Southern California at Santa Anita, 1 mile in the Grade 2 Goldacova. The horse finished 7th by 5.5 lengths there, and he just had nothing from the rail. Wasn't the day to win. And then the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter, September the 29th. The horse finished 4th by 3.25 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot, but again, it wasn't enough to win. And then Option 100 Claimer at Del Mar, mile 16th, August 23rd. The horse finished 6th by 3.75 lengths. Another little bit of a turn of foot, but it wasn't the day to win. I think the long stretch on this turf course should suit this one, and I also think a quick pace in front of this one should suit this one. This horse has showed she could run some good races. She actually won the Royal Heroine Mile at Santa Anita last April very nicely. So I'll take this horse here at 2-1. Ship price, no. But to recap my selections for the 4th from the Fairgrounds, the Albert M. Stahl Memorial. Gonna go with the 8 horse Beau Recall. I'm gonna go 8-2-9-1 in the superfecta. So now we're going to scroll to race number 9 from the Fairgrounds. the beginning of an all stakes late pick four for 200,000 guarantee. But the ninth race in the fairgrounds, it's the Mineshaft Handicap Grade 3 event, going for a purse of $150,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses in this local prep race for the New Orleans Handicap, going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the fairgrounds main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Top selection, I'm going to go to the number 9 horse here, the 9 horse Flame Away. I'm going to go 9-13-2-5 in the superfecta. 9-13-2-5 super. Top selection, 9 horse Flame Away. 4-year-old gelding, or excuse me, 4-year-old colt by Scat Daddy. Mark Cassie trains. Tyler Gaffleone picks up the mounts. The horse's most recent outing came the 25th of August at Parks, mile 16th in the Grade 3 Smarty Jones, and we're still waiting for this horse to finish the race. I do know the race was run in August, but this horse ran absolutely crap. Dueled early on the front end, then just hit the wall. Axelrod ran a hell of a race. This horse finished 7th by 18 lengths. Wasn't the day to win. Before that, though, ran very well in the Jim Dandy at Saratoga, mile 8th, July 28th. The horse finished second by 3/4 length behind Tenfold, and he stalked early on. You know, he just missed at the end. He couldn't get Tenfold to close up well, but this horse, you know, ran a good effort there. And then the Ohio Derby at Thistle, mile 8th, June the 23rd. The horse finished 6th by 5 1/4 lengths. Set the pace early on, but then just kind of weakened out of it. You know, this horse hasn't started here at the fairgrounds, but has been training over the surface all winter, and has been training quite decently. You know, this winter, and I think he's going to really run a good race. I think the distance is right. He's also a little versatile. He's early on in his career. He kind of, you know, he looked like he could rate a little bit, which I think is good. So he doesn't have to be on the front end. If he rates this horse today, Gaffleone, I think he could get a good shot today. You know, 5-1. I'll take my chances in a very wide open Mineshaft. So to recap my selection for the 9th from the fairgrounds, the Mineshaft Handicap, gonna go with the number 9 horse Flame Away. I'm gonna go 9-13-2-5 in the superfecta. Let's get to race number 10. The 10th race from the fairgrounds, it's the Fairgrounds Handicap. It's a Grade 3 event going for a purse of $150,000. Races for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses going to post here. The distance of ground of about 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of about 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf course. About 1,800, a mile and 1/8 turf. Forgot what this race is the local prep race for on Louisiana Derby Day. It's that other mile and 1/8 turf race, but I just can't think of the name. Some kind of memorial, Muniz Memorial, I think that's what it is. But my top selection here in the FG handicap, I like the number 11 horse here, Bendua. I'm gonna go 11-9-5-2 in the superfecta. 11-9-5-2 super. Top selection, 11 horse. Bendua, 4-year-old colt by the Factor. Calumet Farm owns this one. Adam Bachissa gets the leg up. This horse hasn't been seen since the 13th of October. That came at Woodbine on good ground, a mile and a half in the Canadian International. The horse finished 8th by 11 3/4 lengths. Was with the pace setters early on, you know, and then just hit the wall. Couldn't keep up at the end. It wasn't the day to win. Mile and a half might have been a little bit too long. I think the mile and a quarter, mile and 8 distance is his preferred distance. Before then, the Dueling Grounds Derby at Kentucky Downs, mile 5/16, September the 12th. The horse finished 4th by 4.5 lengths. He stalked early on, couldn't get that good turn of foot, but didn't run half bad. And then before that, in the Secretariat at Arlington, mile and a quarter, August the 11th, the horse finished 3rd by 3 lengths. Sat back early on, had a little bit of a turn of foot, and, you know, ran well there. It was an improvement off the 2 races before, which came in Europe at most recently in Europe at Leopardstown, a mile 3/4, staying in the Kingdom of Bahrain Vinny Rose Stakes. Just listed stakes at Leopardstown. The horse finished 5th by 1 1/4 lengths and just couldn't quick it up. Distance was too long staying there, and then ran the Irish Derby and finished 8th by 6 lengths. Couldn't keep up there, but won the first 2 races of his life at Cork very easily, going a mile and a quarter. You know, I think sitting closer today should really suit this one. I think getting the preferred trip again should really suit this one, so I'll take him at 15-1. My long shot of the day, or one of my long shots of the day. We still have a few more races to go, but to recap my selections for the 10th from the Fairgrounds Handicap, gonna go with the 11 horse Bandua. I'm going to go 11-9-5-2 in the superfecta. So let's get to race number 11 from the fairgrounds. the 11th race, it's the Rachel Alexandra Stakes. It's a Grade 2 race going for a purse of $200,000. Race for fillies or 3-year-olds here. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the fairgrounds main track. 1,700, about 1 mile and 1/16. Top selection, I'm going to go to the number 4 horse, Positive Spirit. I'm going to go 4-10-3-6 in the superfecta. 4-10-3-6 super. Top selection of 4 horse, Positive Spirit. 3-year-old filly by Pioneer Nile. Rudolph Brissetta trains this one. Manny Franco picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 1st of December at Aqueduct. Mile and the 8th in the Grade 2 Demoiselle. The horse won by 10.5 lengths. Stalked early on, got the lead, and just took off. You know, it won for fun. It was a very easy race there. You know, the other horses in that race were. It was a weird betting race. I thought this horse should have been the favorite and went off and wasn't the favorite, and she still won very nicely. It was a very good race. Before that, Churchill, November the 8th, 1 mile in main special weights for $76,000. The horse won by 1.5 lengths from Y Postra, stalked early on, a little bit wide during the main portion of the race, but in the stretch really closed up well. It was a very good run for this horse there. And then a Keeneland, a mile 16th in the main special weight, $66,000. Horse finished second by a neck, sat back early, moved a little bit too early because his horse had to lead by a little bit, and then got caught right in the stretch and kind of got bumped. It was a weird race for a very inexperienced run for her first start around 2 turns. And then before that, Saratoga, 7-furlong main special, $85,000. Horse finished third by 1/4 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot, but the distance wasn't to her liking. I think the mile 16th trip again should really be to her liking. He's been training well at Payson Park, and I like her a lot, so I'll take her as a top selection. So to recap my selections for the 11th from the fairgrounds, it's Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra Stakes. Going to go with the 4 horse Positive Spirit. I'm going to go 4-10-3-6 in the superfecta. So now let's get to the nightcap, the featured 12th race from the fairgrounds, which is the Risen Star Stakes. It's a Grade 2 race going for a purse of $400,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. Field of 15 horses, but we're going to have one scratch in here. The 13 horse Kingly will be withdrawn. He's running up at Golden Gate Fields in the El Camino Real Derby. So we're going to be down to a field of 14 horses. Still good field size, going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters. With the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Top selection here. I like the number, somebody's trying to call me, I like the number 10 horse here, who is Limonite. I'm going to go 10-3-49 in the superfecta, 10-3-49 super. Top selection, 10 horse Limonite. This 3-year-old colt by Lemon Drop Kid, Steve Aspenson trains. Brian Hernandez Jr. picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 24th of November at Churchill on the Slop, mile 16th in the Kentucky Jockey Club. The horse finished third by 2 lengths there, and he had a really good turn of foot at the end. Closed up well. It was a good run there. Got a really good 82 Spire speed figure. Before that, he ran at Churchill, mile 16th off some 5 claimer. The horse finished second by a neck. He stalked early on from wide post draw, had the lead, and then he got caught in the stretch. You know, he had to, he just moved a little bit too early, just couldn't keep up at the end. And then a Keeneland, 7-furlong main special weight, $64,000. He won by head. He closed up well, and he held on. It was a very good run. And then a Saratoga, 7-furlong main special weight, $85,000. Horse finished third by neck. Again, it was a very weird, inexperienced race for him. He just couldn't keep up. But he's been improving with every single race. The buyers have been going up, and I just think he's a horse that's going to really run a good race here today, so watch out for him. Just one thing I hope, he's not so far back like he was in the Kentucky Jockey Club, but I still think he'll run well. But to recap my selections now for the feature 12th race in the fairgrounds, it's the Grade 2 Risen Star. I'm going to take the 10 horse Limonite here as a top selection. I'm going to go 10-3-14-9 in the superfecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5. Good luck, everybody.